Hello to my dear students. How are you all? I hope you are all doing well. Welcome back to our session, Interactive English. This is your Murali Krishna Mudragada, faculty in English. My dear students, you know that in our previous session, I taught you end punctuations. Okay, so it means that I told you that there are three types of punctuation marks: end punctuation marks, internal punctuation marks, and word punctuation marks. In our previous class, we had discussion of end punctuation marks. Okay, so and in this session, we are going to talk about internal punctuations. Okay, so and this is part 3, and then part 1 I gave you introduction of punctuation marks. In part 2 I taught you end punctuations, and in part 3 we are going to talk about it means that internal punctuations. Okay, before we get into the main topic, so let us have the types of punctuation marks. Okay, so end punctuation marks are also called terminal punctuation marks, right? So what are the punctuation marks come under end punctuations? Full stop, question mark, exclamatory mark. These three punctuation marks are considered to be end punctuation marks or terminal punctuation marks. And next one, internal punctuation. Okay, internal punctuation marks: comma, semicolon, colon, quotation marks, ellipses. Okay, so these are called internal punctuation marks. And the last one, word punctuation. So let us see what are the marks come under word punctuation: apostrophe, hyphen, capitals. Okay, so and these are called word punctuation marks. Okay, so and there are three types of punctuation marks. Okay, so now let us see internal punctuations. Okay, and you know the signs or symbols of internal punctuation marks. Okay, so comma is indicated with the actually this symbol. Okay, so and the semicolon, one dot and one comma, right? So colon, this is colon. Quotation marks, right? And these are quotation marks. Ellipses, right? So it means that 3 or 4 dots. Okay, so and these are the internal punctuation marks. Today in this session we talk about comma. Okay, so comma is one of the important punctuation marks, and which is frequently used in our composition or in our text. Okay, so let us talk about the use of comma today in this session, right? So comma. A comma is the most frequently used mark of punctuation, which provides a slight pause in sentence. Okay, what is the purpose of comma? It means that if we put comma, it means that we are giving some break. Okay, so it means that it indicates a slight pause in a sentence. Okay, so and it is used. Let us see the uses. It means that where we have to use a comma, right? See, let us see the first use of comma. Comma is used to separate items in a list. Okay, so actually, for example, if you are making a list, okay, for separating the words, okay, so we have to use comma, right? Let us see one example here. Yeah, James, Anthony, Rahim, and Sundar are studying in the same school. Okay, so see, James, Anthony, Rahim, and Sundar are studying in the same school. In our previous session, we learned that if we don't use punctuation marks, the meaning will change, and moreover, the sentences will be ridiculous and meaningless. Okay, see here James Anthony Rahim, it appears to be a single name, but this is not a single name. Actually, what does the sentence mean here? James Anthony Rahim and Sundar are studying in the same school. It means that, let us see how the meaning changes if we use comma here in this sentence, right? James, comma, Anthony, comma, Rahim and Sundar are studying in the same school. So what are we doing here? It means that we are separating the various persons. Okay, so we are separating the different persons with the comma. If there is no comma, what happens? It means that it seems to be a single name, James Anthony Rahim. So it means that if we remove comma here, so it appears to be single name, and there is one more student, only 2 students. But if we use comma, so what happened? There are 4 students. Okay, they are studying in the same school. Okay, so where we have to use comma? Comma is used to separate items in a list. James, comma, Anthony, comma, Rahim and Sundar are studying in the same school. Okay, so let us see one more example. Raghava is rich. Raghava is rich, clever, brave and honest. See, actually how is this sentence without comma? See, actually Raghava is rich, clever, brave and honest. So it is meaningless. Actually, it is not distinct, not clear. Okay, so let us see how the sentence appears if we use comma. See, Raghava is rich, comma, clever, comma, brave and honest. Okay, so actually what we have done here, so it means that we have separated the qualities of Raghava. So Raghava is rich, he is clever, he is brave and honest. It means that he is a man of multiple qualities. Okay, so but here the above sentence in the absence of comma, it means that is meaningless. Okay, right? So, and let us see one more example. We need to buy milk, eggs, flour and sugar for the cake. So what we have to do here? So it means that we have to separate the items. So here are so many items, say for making cake. So eggs, flour, sugar. Okay, so it means that we need majorly 3 items for making the cake. So but here actually the list, okay, the list is without a comma. So and it is not clear, and the reader will get confused if we if there is no comma. So see how clear the sentence is with this comma. Okay, so we need to buy milk, comma, eggs, comma, flour and sugar for the cake, right? So and here is we need to buy tea powder and sugar for making black tea. See, my dear students, just observe this sentence. The above sentences it means that contain more than 2. Okay, more than 2. So here James, Anthony, Rahim and Sundar. So here are 4 students. They are studying in the same school, and here these are the qualities of Raghava: rich, clever, brave and honest. So and for making cake we need 3 items. Okay, so milk, eggs, flour, okay, and sugar. So 4 items, right? So and here we need to buy tea powder and sugar for making black tea. Okay, for making black tea we need only 2 items. Okay, so when there are only 2 items, it means that we need not use comma. Okay, we need not use comma. So if there are only 2 items, say this is the note. If there are more than 2 items, you can put comma before and. But if there are only 2 items, don't put a comma. Okay, so this is the first use of comma. Okay, what is the first use of comma? To separate items in a list. Okay, so let us move to the next use and the second use. Okay, what is the second use here? After an adverbial clause or a phrase. Okay, so where to use comma? On it means that there is one more use of comma, the second use of comma after an adverbial clause or a phrase. See, here is one sentence. So after we had attended the party, we left for Delhi. After we had attended the party, we left for Delhi. See, actually, so how is this sentence? It means that actually, if there is a no punctuation marks, it appears to be. It means that a continuous sentence and a single sentence. Okay, so actually there is no break. You know, my dear students, English is a rhythmical language. Okay, so it means that if we don't, it means that speak English rhythmically, so it means that it is not comprehensible and it is not understandable. Okay, so that's why punctuation marks play an important role. It means that for making the meaning understandable. Okay, so here after, what is the second use? After an adverbial clause or a phrase. See, this is an adverbial clause. After we had attended the party, say, and this is the dependent clause, subordinate clause. After we had attended the party, this is a subordinate clause and this is the main clause. We left for Delhi. So it means that actually comma is used for separating two clauses. Okay, here are two clauses, right? We had attended the party is one clause. We left for Delhi, another clause. For separating two clauses, we have to use comma. See, after we, let us see how the sentence, okay, how the sentence will be with a comma. See, after we had attended the party, comma, we left for Delhi. Now, the sentence is, it means that more meaningful. Okay, okay, this sentence is more meaningful than the, it means that earlier sentence, this above sentence. Okay, after we had attended the party, we left for Delhi. It means that actually there is no clarity if we don't use comma. Okay, for getting clarity, we have to use comma. It means that we are separating these two clauses, with the comma here. So it means that it is easily readable and moreover it is easily understandable. Okay, so and let us see. Yeah, see here sometimes this conjunction. Okay, this conjunction we can also use in the middle. When we use the conjunction in the middle, we need not use comma. See this sentence. Okay, the same sentence, but we are using this conjunction in the middle. See, we left for Delhi. Now we have we are taking the main class first. We left for Delhi. We left for Delhi after we had attended the party. So in this sentence, it means that we are not using comma. Okay, we need not use comma when we use conjunction in the middle. Okay, so when we use conjunction at the beginning of the sentence, for separating two sentences, two clauses, we have to use comma. But here we don't need a comma. Okay, because a conjunction is in the middle. Okay, so let us see one more example for better understanding. As soon as the guest arrives, okay, as soon as the guest arrives, the program started. As soon as the guest arrives, the program started. As soon as the guest arrives, the program starts. Okay, as soon as the guest arrives, the program starts. It means that actually there is no rhythm and moreover, actually this sentence is without a punctuation mark. So let us see what happens if we use punctuation mark here, comma. See, as soon as the guest arrives, okay, as soon as the guest arrives, see, this is one class, okay, and this is another clause. Okay, so and we have to separate two clauses with the comma. Now the it means that it is understandable and it is readable. As soon as the guest arrives, comma, the program starts. Okay, so and if we use this conjunction in the middle, it means that we need not use comma. The program starts as soon as the guest arrives. Right. So in the second use, okay, so we have to make a note that when a conjunction is used in the beginning of the clause, okay, we have to use comma for separating two clauses. Okay, so when the same conjunction is used in the middle, we need not use comma. Okay, and this is the second use of comma. And let us see the third use of comma. What is the third use of comma? Connecting independent clauses. Okay, connecting independent clauses. See, and my dear students, whether you observed or not, the second rule here after an adverbial clause or a phrase. See here, actually this sentence contains two clauses. One is subordinate clause and the other is coordinate clause. It means that dependent clause, this is a dependent clause and this is independent clause. But comma is used on some other occasion, say connecting independent clauses. Okay, it is used for connecting independent clauses. Okay, so what are the actually how are independent clauses it means that linked? Okay, there are certain conjunctions which are called coordinating conjunctions. Okay, coordinating conjunctions are used for joining two independent clauses. Okay, so for connecting independent clauses, coordinating conjunctions are used. Okay, so and when we use coordinating conjunctions, okay, when we use coordinate conjunctions, okay, so before the conjunctions we have to use comma. See, here is one example. They offered him a promotion. They offered him a promotion and he accepted it immediately. See, they offered him a promotion. This is an independent clause. He accepted it immediately. This is also an independent clause. Okay, and these two independent clauses. Okay, these two independent clauses are it means that joined with this coordinating conjunction and. Okay, what are called coordinating conjunctions? And, but, or, so. Okay, so and when we join two independent clauses with coordinating conjunctions, so we have to use comma before that coordinating conjunction. Say, they offered him a promotion, comma, and he accepted it immediately. Okay, and see another sentence here. I waited for the doctor for over 2 hours. I waited for the doctor for over 2 hours, but he never came. So here, this is an independent clause, and the second sentence is also an independent clause. Okay, so and we talk about the independent clause in our coming sessions. Okay, in detail. So I waited for the doctor for over 2 hours, but he never came. So here, what we have to do? We have to put comma. It means that before this coordinating conjunction. I waited for the doctor over 2 hours, comma, but he never came. Now, here is one more example. Start early or you will miss the bus. Okay, so see here is one more coordinating conjunction. Okay, start early or you will miss the bus. Right. So and this sentence is wrong without a comma. So how to use comma, where to use comma here? Start immediately or see before coordinating conjunction. Before coordinating conjunction, so not after coordinating conjunction. So we have to use comma before coordinating conjunctions, right? Start early, comma, or you will miss the bus, right? So, and here is one more example. I feel uneasy, so I can't join you. I feel uneasy, so I can't join you, right? So, and here is a coordinating conjunction, right? So what we have to do now, before coordinating conjunction, so we have to use comma, right? So, and this is the third use of comma, okay? So what is the first use of comma? For separating items in a sentence, okay? What is the second use of comma? When we are separating adverbial clauses, okay, we have to use comma. And what is the third use of comma? So for connecting, it means that independent clauses, right? So for connecting independent clauses, we need coordinating conjunctions, right? And, but, also. And before these coordinating conjunctions, and we have to use comma, right? So, and here is the fourth use of comma, and the comma is used in relative clauses. Okay, so relative. And what are called relative clauses? It means that actually when the clauses are joined with who, which, that, okay. So, and such a clause are called relative clauses, right? So, and there are two types of relative clauses: defining relative clause, non-defining relative clause, okay, right? So this relative clause is also called adjective clause, right? So now what is the third use of comma? For joining relative clauses, right? See, first we talk about it means that defining a relative clause. Don't use comma, say, don't use comma before defining relative clause or essential relative clause. So it means that if you see one example, you can easily understand. See, the lady is the teacher. The lady is the teacher who won the best teacher award this year. Okay. See, the lady is the teacher who won the best teacher award this year. The lady is the teacher. The lady is the teacher. For example, if we don't have this part, who won the best teacher award this year, it means that we don't know more about this teacher. What is this part doing? Okay, what is this clause doing here? And this clause is defining. Okay, this clause is defining this teacher. Okay, that's why this is called a defining clause. Okay, defining on non-defining. So defining clause means the part which defines the defines a person. Okay, so the lady is the teacher. The lady is the teacher. For example, if we stop with this sentence, it means that it is not understandable, because actually there is no clarity who the teacher is, right? So the teacher, the lady is the teacher, and what is this phrase, what is this clause doing? And this is defining this teacher, and that's why it is called a defining relative clause, right? So when we, what is the condition here? So it means that don't use comma, right? Don't use comma before defining relative clause. So because this is a defining relative clause and we need not use a comma here. We don't use a comma before this conjunction. Okay. So, and here is one more example. These are the students. These are the students. Okay. For example, if we stop with this, okay, and the other person cannot understand. Okay. So these are the students. But here, what is this part doing? This part is defining these students. And this part shows who the students are. Okay, that's why this part is called a defining relative clause. Okay, so these are it means a relative. Actually, these are the adjective. These are the conjunctions used in relative clauses. Who, it means that, which. Okay, and such conjunctions are used in relative clauses, right? So these are the students who broke the glass. When we are, it means that combining two clauses with relative conjunctions, it means that we don't use a comma. Right? These are the students who broke the glass. So we need not use comma here. Okay, this is the, it means that first rule under relative clauses. Okay, so and here is the second one. Okay, so use comma before non-defining relative clause or non-essential relative clause. Okay, so actually what happened in the previous sentence, it means that need not use comma because actually that is a defining clause. But when we use non-defining relative clause, that a non-defining relative clause should be separated with a comma. Say, we celebrate New Year's Eve. Yeah, we celebrate New Year's Eve. So it means that, for example, if we end this sentence, if we end this sentence here, it means that it gives a complete meaning. We celebrate New Year's evening. It means that actually, so most of us celebrate 31st December. 31st December is called New Year's Eve. And we need not define this, which is the last day of the year. And everyone knows that New Year's Eve is the last day of the year. And we need not use this clause. Okay. So even if in the absence of this clause, we can easily understand. Okay. So that's why it is non-essential. It is not essential. This part is not essential. Okay. So, and such a non-essential relative clauses, it means it should be separated with the comma. Okay. See, here is comma. We celebrate New Year's Eve, comma, which is the last day of the year. Okay. So, what is the, it means that fourth one. In defining relative clause, we need not use a comma, but it means that with a non-defining relative clause, we have to use comma. Now, Mumbai is the business capital of India, is facing a severe water crisis. Okay, so see, Mumbai, you know, everyone knows that Mumbai is the business capital of India. This business capital of India is an additional information. Okay, even it means that without this additional information, this sentence gives a complete meaning. Mumbai is facing a severe water crisis. We can easily know, and we need not define this. Okay, so it means that this is not essential actually. Okay, such a non-essential relative clause or such additional information should be separated with the commas. Okay, see, Mumbai, comma, the business capital of India, comma, is facing a severe water crisis. Okay. My grandfather who celebrated his 84th birthday yesterday is a philanthropist. So here, my grandfather is a philanthropist. For example, if you want to, what do you want to convey? You want to convey that your grandfather is a philanthropist. But what are we doing here? We are giving an additional information. Who celebrated his 84th birthday yesterday? This is an extra matter and this is an additional information. And that's why this part is called, it means that non-defining, okay, non-defining relative clause. Such a non-defining relative clause should be segregated with commas. Okay, so my grandfather, comma, who celebrated his 84th birthday yesterday is a philanthropist. Okay, understood? I hope you are able to understand. So let us move to the next use of comma. Okay, so the fifth use of comma in letters. In letters for salutation and complimentary clause. So when we are writing letters, we use salutations. Okay, we use salutations and complimentary clause. Okay, so and dear Srinath. Okay, dear Srinath, we use dear Srinath for example, when we are writing letters to our friends, it means that we use such a salutation. Okay, and after this salutation, okay, we must use comma. Say, dear Srinath, comma. Now this is the correct expression. Okay, and here is one more example. Dear ma'am. Okay, dear ma'am. So what we have to do here? Dear ma'am, comma. Next, respected principal. Okay, respected principal. After respected principal, there must be comma, right? Otherwise, it means that it is wrong. Now, yours sincerely. This is a complimentary clause. Okay, so and after complimentary clause, we have to use comma. Yours sincerely, comma, right? So next. One more example, yours faithfully. So even after yours faithfully, so we have to use a comma, right? So yours faithfully, comma, and this is the fifth use of comma, right? So next one, sixth one, to introduce direct speech, okay, and before question tags. Okay, for example, when we are introducing direct speech, okay, when we are using direct speech, so that the reported speech should be it means that separated with a comma, and comma is also used before question tags. For example, when we are making question tags, we must use a comma. See, Jane said you are a good friend. Jane said you are a good friend. So here this is a it means a reported speech. Okay, this is a reported speech, right? So and this reporting speech or reported speech should be it means that separated with the comma. Now see, Jane said, after said, okay, after this reporting verb said, okay, reporting verb. It means that, for example, said, James told, okay, James told John, okay. So after told, after James told John, after John, there must be comma. It means that comma should be used for introducing direct speech. This is the direct speech. These are the direct words of the speaker. When we are introducing direct speech, we have to use comma here. And so this is a question tag. Srinath is clever. Srinath is clever, isn't he? See, and what should we do here? Srinath is clever, comma, isn't he? So when we are introducing direct speech, we have to use comma. And when we are, it means that when we are using question tags, so it means that after the statement, okay, when we are before that question tag, so it means that we must use a comma. Okay, so and this is the sixth use of comma. What is the sixth use of comma? For introducing direct speech. Okay, so after it means a reporting verb, we have to use comma. And after the statement, when we are making question tags, so we have to use comma. And this is the seventh one. Okay, seventh use of comma. After sentence adverbs, okay, after sentence adverbs or introductory adverbs and separate the linking words. Okay, so for example, what is the other use of comma? It means that comma is used after introductory adverbs. What are called introductory adverbs? Say, fortunately, suddenly, luckily, finally, also, consequently. Okay, so and such expressions are called, such words are called introductory adverbs. Okay, after introductory adverbs, it means that comma should be used. And comma is also used for separating linking words. Okay, and these are linking words. Meanwhile, nevertheless. Okay, so therefore. Okay, so and besides. Okay, and such words are called linking words. Okay, for separating linking words. Okay, and after introductory adverbs, we have to use comma. Okay, here are one example. Fortunately, he was saved. Okay, and after fortunately, we must use comma. So fortunately, he was saved. Next, suddenly Leela left the meeting. Okay, so this is an introductory adverb. Okay, so and after introductory adverb, we have to use comma. Now, her parents wanted her to be a doctor. Her parents wanted her to be a doctor, but what happened? However, he had other plans. See, however is a it means a linking word. It is a conjunction, right? So, and what we have to do after this conjunction? Okay, after however, so we must use comma. See, her parents wanted her to be a doctor. However, comma, he had other plans. And here is one more example. This is a great book. In fact, it is one of the best I have ever read. Okay, this is a great book. In fact, after in fact. Okay, after in fact. So we have to use comma. It means that comma is used after these words. Okay, so what are these words called? Introductory adverbs and linking words. Okay, after such linking words and after such introductory adverbs, we have to use comma. That is, comma is used after fortunately, suddenly, luckily, finally, also, consequently, meanwhile, nevertheless, obviously, perhaps, however, therefore, of course, actually, besides, otherwise, for example, namely, in fact. Okay, so after these words, we must use a comma. This is the 7th use of comma. Okay, and see the 8th use of comma. What is the 8th use of comma? To separate a date or month from a year. Okay, for separating date or month from a year. See, 15th August 1947, and this is the date. Okay, and this date should be separated from this year. Okay, so and for separating the date, okay, or month from year, so we have to use comma, right? So January 26th, 1950. Okay, so January 26th, comma, 1950. Okay, so and this is the 8th use of comma, right? And here is the 9th use of comma. Comma is used in a writing postal address. See, this is the address. Okay, this is the number. Okay, and this is the street. Okay, and this is the place. Okay, and this is the state. So, and after, okay, after such a it means that after the house number, okay, after the street, after the name of the street, okay, so it means that after the name of the city and after yeah, so and these and the last, okay, so it means that the last one should be concluded with a full stop. Okay, and before it means that before that, so such a words should be ended with a comma. Okay, so it means that house number, comma, street name, comma, city, okay, or town name, comma, and so it means that state, after state there should be full stop. Okay, for example, if we are ending, for example, we are not using state, if we are ending only with the name of the city, so and the last word takes a full stop. Okay, and this is the 9th use of comma. And let us see the 10th use of comma. Okay, so where else we use comma? To separate interjections, and other words like is, no, oh, well, or. Okay, so and such interjections take comma after them. See, wow, what a surprise. Okay, so this is an interjection. After this interjection, so we must use comma. Wow, comma, what a surprise. And say, yes, he did it. Yes, he did it. After yes, there must be comma, right? So next one. Well, I explain it now. Okay, well, comma, I explain it now. Okay, so and after such interjections and after some words, so we have to use comma. Okay, after wow, as, well, no. Okay, and after such words, we have to use comma. This is the 10th use of comma. Okay, and see the 11th use of comma. Okay, so it means that comma is used. It means that at many places. Okay, right? So and because this is the punctuation mark which is frequently used after a noun or pronoun in the vocative case. Okay, after forms of address, it means that see when we are it means that introducing one sentence with a name. For example, Raju, come here. Raju, come here. It means that Raju, come here. Raju, we are calling Raju. Come here. So it means that when we in vocative case, it means that when we are addressing someone, okay, when we are addressing someone and after that person, and we have to use comma. Raju, come here. Sir, shall I come in? Okay, sir, shall I come in? Sir, after sir, okay, we have to use comma, right? So, ma'am, can I get you something to drink? Okay, ma'am, comma, can I get you something to drink? So this is the 11th use of comma. What is the 11th use of comma? So it means that when we are addressing someone, okay, and after that person, we have to use comma. And let us see the 12th use of comma. To separate a name from a degree or department. Okay, for separating a name from a degree or department, and we have to use a comma. He is Ashok, IAS. Okay, so this is a degree. We have to separate this degree from this person. Okay, so he is Ashok, comma, IAS, right? So meet Mr. Bansal, the manager. Okay, so it means that who is Bansal? The manager. So when we want to, it means that actually when we want to separate the degree from that person, and we have to use comma. Meet Mr. Bansal, comma, the manager. Okay, so and this is the 12th rule. Okay, and see the 13th rule and the last use of comma. Okay, so to indicate the omission of a word, especially a verb. For example, Shiva found a mobile, Arun a watch. So actually, Shiva found a mobile, and what are we missing here? It means that what are we what have we deleted here in this sentence? So we have deleted, we have omitted. It means that verb. Okay, Shiva found a mobile, Arun found a watch. So we are using the same, instead of repeating the same verb. Okay, and so it means that we can use like this. Okay, so what are we doing here? It means that we avoided repeating that verb. Okay, so we used that word only once. It means that we have taken that word common. Shiva found a mobile. Shiva found a mobile. Arun found a watch. Actually, when we are removing this repeated verb, so then we have to use comma. Shiva found a mobile. Arun, comma, a watch. It means that Arun found a watch. Okay, what are we doing here? So it means that we are omitting a word, especially verb. When we are omitting, it means that deleting a verb. So in the place of that verb, so we have to use a comma. Next, he is an American. He is an American. She an Indian. Okay, so he is an American, she is an Indian, and but what we are doing here, so it means that we are missing verb. So he is an American, she, comma, an Indian. Okay, and this is a 13th use of comma and the last use of comma. So my dear students, okay, so it means that comma is used. Okay, comma is used in various cases. Okay, so particularly it means that there are 13 uses of comma. Okay, so and let us here is one more example. So he will win, you never. Okay, he will win, you comma never. So and let us recap. Okay, so it means that let me remind you of what we have talked so far. Okay, so yeah, what is the first use of comma? To separate items in a list. See, here is one example. James, comma Anthony, comma Rahim and Sundar are studying in the same school. Okay, what is the second use? After an adverbial clause or a phrase. Okay, after we had attended the party, for separating two clauses, we are using comma here. So, and what is the third use? Connecting independent clauses. When we are connecting two independent clauses with the coordinating conjunctions. Okay, and it means that before the coordinating conjunctions, we have to use a comma. I waited for the doctor for over 2 hours, comma, but he never came. Right? Say in relative clauses. Okay, so there are 2 types of relative clauses: defining and non-defining. Okay, so it means that in the case of defining clauses, we need not use comma, but when we are using non-defining relative clause, we have to use comma. My grandfather, comma, who celebrated his 84th birthday yesterday, comma, is a philanthropist. Okay, in letters, okay, in letters for salutation and complimentary clause, we have to use comma, after salutation, dear Srinath, comma, and after complimentary close, yours sincerely, comma. And this is the sixth use, to introduce direct speech and before question tags. Okay, so it means that for introducing direct speech we have to use comma, and so for making question tags after the statement, okay, we have to use comma, right? So see the seventh use, after sentence adverbs or introductory adverbs. Okay, say after introductory adverbs, fortunately, comma, he was saved. Okay, and after it means linking words, however, comma, to separate a date, month from a year. So 15th August, comma, 1947, right? So it means that after postal address, okay, after postal address, we have to use comma, right? So, and where is the, it means that other occasion, what is the other occasion where we use comma? To separate interjections and other words like yes, no, oh, well, okay, well, comma, I explained now. Okay, so what is the 11th use? After a noun or a pronoun in the vocative case. Okay, after forms of address, Raju, comma, come here, right? To separate a name from a degree, meet Mr. Bansal, comma, the manager. Okay, so to indicate the omission of a verb, he was a Brahmin. She was a Rajput, but we are omitting. It means that was here. So when we omit a verb in place of that verb, we have to use comma. These are the 13 uses of comma. So thank you very much, my dear students, for watching this video. So I hope it means that you are able to understand what I'm teaching. Okay, so and let us meet again in our next session. Okay, with one more punctuation mark. Okay, so thank you very much.